Well, hello there. Good afternoon, my lovelies. Today, I would like to chat at you about consistency. Literally the bane of my existence. But seriously, I talk a good game, but this is the biggest challenge for me in life is being consistent. So, fortunately, I have a really strong guilty conscience, so I usually follow through on most things eventually, but I do struggle. So, I'm going to share some examples today where I still struggle because that's reality, but where I genuinely have done my best to maintain consistency, even if I feel like I fell short a time or two. So the other day, you may have already seen it, but I shared a photo of my upper arm where I could finally start seeing the cut of my shoulder muscle building. And then, would you believe, the next day I hurt my shoulder, so now I can't work it out. But aside from my belly, because, having 10 kids, my arms are the body part that I've always been most self-conscious about, like the jiggle on the underside. And I've always really preferred the shape of a really cut shoulder. But I've always felt like I was doing fairly good in that area as well until about 2 summers ago. I was looking at some photos of myself in my bathing suit at the pool and at the lake, and I was surprised at how much jiggle I could see in those photos and videos. So I finally admitted that it was time to do a weigh-in because I had just completely ignored the reality of what my weight was for literally 4 years. And I was shocked to see I was at my highest weight ever. This was actually higher than my last pregnancy. So when I delivered my last child, I was 175. And so at this weigh-in, I was 180, higher than my last pregnancy, higher than my highest pregnancy weight. And I was like, depressed for days. But I had to get really honest about how my lack of exercise and regard for my diet was affecting my appearance and my wellness. No, don't get me wrong. I still totally dicked around. I did not even work hard until last spring when I got back from Spain. At that point, my weight was still about the same, but I was living in chronic pain. And it just became unbearable. Something had to change. So I made it my goal not to lose weight, but to gain back function of my elimination systems because I've studied nutrition and diet and herbs for over 2 decades, but sometimes you put down what you know is good for you and you just live your life and get lost. And so I started to pick that stuff up again because I knew that the key to getting back my health was improving the elimination of wastes from my body. And so the main elimination systems are our digestive, our kidney, our skin, and the lungs. And the first two are the ones that I focused on because if we focus on those two, then the other two will cleanse themselves pretty much naturally, unless, you do need to dig deeper at times. But digestion is the main one that we can get going quickly and see quick, good results. So within a couple of months, I shed 25 pounds just by making half of every meal vegetables and by eating smaller portions because I have this real guilt from growing up where I had to finish every bite on my plate. And it's funny because I've been talking a lot about generational trauma lately, and I realized that that's something that came from my dad's side because a lot of what I've been talking about is indigenous and comes from my mom's side, but this is one that came from my dad's side and having parents that grew up in the Depression, right? Very frugal, very conservative, save, save, save. You eat every bite on your plate type of mentality, right? So I would take too much because my eyes are too big and then I would have to eat it all, right? And that was fine when I was young, when my metabolism was really high. But after I had my sixth kid, that's when I was around 30, and the metabolism just changes at that point, right? So just by those smaller portions, eating half a plate of vegetables, or just aiming for half the meal to be vegetables every meal, the weight just shed off with no effort. Aside from dancing in the shower, I do leg lifts in the shower, and I dance when I dance when I'm getting dressed and stuff, just to kind of raise the heart rate and get moving for the day. But this last February, I had my second daughter design a couple of weightlifting routines for me. And for all of March, I worked out 2 to 3 times per week. And then for all of April and May, I worked out 3 to 5 times per week, like starting out with 3 at the beginning of that and gradually building to now I do like 4 or 5 times per week. And I do no cardio. I don't do any cardio. I find it just wipes me out too much and I can't sustain for the rest of the day or the following day. So I just don't do it. And I don't weigh myself, and nor do I restrict what I eat. I just try to stick with that same plan that I mentioned earlier. But now I'm a lot more purposeful about the vegetables that I choose. And also the smoothies that I make each day are specifically designed to be very dense in nutrition. And but the truth is that I just choose healthy stuff as much as possible. So if we're out and about and we need to eat, then I'm going to eat, but I'm not going to ever have French fries. And I'm going to ask for extra lettuce and tomato on my burger. And I'm going to choose a chicken breast sandwich over deep fried, that kind of thing. You just have to make choices that are more friendly to your digestion, right? So this past week, I decided to do a small check-in because most of my clothes are fitting better, and specifically through the waist, which is yay. And first I weighed myself, and at first I was like, why the fuck did I do that? Because I was actually up 5 pounds. And that made me laugh because I wasn't expecting it, but whatever. My clothes are fitting better, and that makes me happy. So next, then I got out my measuring tape. And, I can see that my waist has gotten smaller because my clothes are fitting better. And I was really hoping to see some difference there. And thank you, Nutrition Weights, because hot damn, my waist measurement was down 5 inches. So now, instead of like being the Pillsbury Dough girl when I put my jeans on, they slide on like butter, which I have to mention, I will never ever give up butter. I think that might be the tonic of the gods. But no, just kidding. Fermented beverages is my newest thing I love. But seriously, I love butter. I will never give it up. But anyways, in addition to the more fit body, I'm just feeling more healthy in so many ways that the benefits of this work and consistency can just not be overlooked. So the honest truth is that the honest truth is, though, that I built these habits slowly. I didn't jump into this strict routine right off the bat because I never would have maintained that. I slowly and consistently built myself up into this healthier lifestyle. And so what I would love to hear from you today is something that you have been consistent with and the benefits that you are experiencing because of that consistent effort. And I just want to remind you to give yourself to the space to grow into this new improved human that you're trying to be so that you can maintain the lifestyle that you are trying to build for yourself. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my darlings, and I will see you next time.